work on another scenario. We have tried to create an email invoice. We tried to create data extensions. We imported data inside those data extensions manually. We sent email manually, and then we saw how to send emails using automation. But while you are working on the project of invoice transaction, the data you are importing is from your desktop, which is not an ideal use case. Somebody has transacted on any other platform, that data won't be given to you on the desktop to import. That is a security privacy violation, data breach. So we have to understand how we can automatically get that data to system from any third party system. Third party system can be your website, third party system can be your database, third party system can be your CRM system. So how to get that data automatically imported to data extension? Moreover, how to get it on recurring basis? Whenever the transactions have happened, or you can take any other use case, whenever some data is created at any third party platform and you have to establish a customer dialog from the Salesforce Marketing Cloud, how to get that data inserted automatically within these data extensions. So we have this profile data extension. Now suppose these are the profiles which customers are creating on your website or a mobile app. How they will do? They will go and sign up. Once they sign up, they will fill your basic form: first name, last name, email address, age, gender, whatever you have defined questionnaires there. They would set some password and they would be able to sign up. So that data you have to get inside Salesforce Marketing Cloud on the go. That data you have to get inside the Salesforce Marketing Cloud on the go. And whenever they make some transaction, that data also you have to get inside the Salesforce Marketing Cloud on the go. We cannot expect a file coming on our desktop and then we will import it. There will be huge amount of data. You cannot import a data which is more than 20 MB from your desktop. The file limit for uploading any data from the desktop is 20 MB. Though we have understood the import process using desktop, but that is not an ideal use case of Salesforce Marketing Cloud automation. So suppose we export this data. Once we export this data, we clear this data extension. Once we clear this data extension, we are left with zero data. Now we have to work with a scenario. Where whenever a profile is created in the system can be third party system like website, mobile app. We have to send them a welcome email. Whenever you go and sign up on any system, you generally receive a welcome email. What is a welcome email? A welcome email is to greet you as a new customer. So the condition here is, whenever the profile is created in the third party system, we have to send them a welcome email. The process is, we have to import data on the go. There are two ways to import data: via API or via batch. API is a real-time data insertion inside Salesforce Marketing Cloud, and batch is a near real-time data insertion. Like whenever the system has created the data, it takes around 15-20 minutes to receive a batch of data to process. And API is the real time. Whenever a transaction has happened on the go, the system would send the communication. So we have to import data on the go via API or via batch. In our case, first we will try to have via batch, and then automation to send the welcome email. Automation to send the welcome email. So this is a very common use case we actually encounter in our day-to-day life. Okay, this is the very common use case we encounter in our day-to-day life. Welcome user will provide 20% off coupon on first transaction. 20% off coupon on the first transaction. So now guys, we have to work towards then automation. We already know how to develop email, how to give 20% off coupon and everything, how to personalize that email. We already know how to import data using a file upload method using your desktop. But here we have to define a sequential automation. That sequential automation will detect if a file is received. First, it detects if a file is received, imports the file to the data extension, and sends the email to the new user, or you can say profiles. So this sequential automation we have to work. So how to work on this scenario where system can detect if a file is received, how system will automatically import the file to a data extension, and how system will send email to that new users created. This is what we are going to. So guys, we have a concept of SFTP in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. We have a concept of SFTP in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. What is SFTP? SFTP stands for Secure File Transfer Protocol. It is a virtual directory in Salesforce Marketing Cloud which is used to receive or send any file. To receive file from another systems, send file from Marketing Cloud to another system. So it has a bi-directional use case. If you are expecting any file to come from any other system where a transaction has happened, a transaction can be a new user sign up, then that system is required to send you a file on Salesforce Marketing Cloud SFTP. Once you receive a file on Salesforce Marketing Cloud SFTP, you can import that file to data extension, and then subsequently you can send communications to those new profiles. Or you want to send some data out of Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Suppose that data is a huge data which is more than 20 MB. Then you need a place where you can export that data. In that case also SFTP can be used. So where SFTP is located, you can create SFTP within Salesforce Marketing Cloud by going to setup. Once you go to setup, You have data management option. You open data management, you have FTP accounts. FTP and SFTP are same. FTP means file transfer protocol. SFTP means secured file transfer protocol. You can call it with both names. So once you go to FTP accounts, you have FTP user. One user already you see that is created. To create another SFTP user, you can click on create user, define email address, password, and save that user. But I have already created an SFTP user which I will share credentials with you. Now in that SFTP we have four important things. We have host, we have port number, we have username, and we have the password. So this is the SFTP credential: host, port number, username, and the password. Host, port number, and username you can find on the UI itself. While creating an SFTP user, you have to create a password, which I have already created. So I will give you these credentials here in the chat. Just copy and paste and keep it with you for your practice. Now once we have this SFTP account, we have an access to a virtual directory in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. We have an access to a virtual directory in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Now how to access that particular virtual directory? How to access that virtual directory? That virtual directory you can access by using SFTP client. What is SFTP client? SFTP client are the softwares which are used to access SFTP directory of any system. Salesforce Marketing Cloud SFTP's directory can be accessed from any of the SFTP clients. You just have to type on Google SFTP client and you will see plenty of SFTP clients available. Like Win SCP is SFTP client. FileZilla is the SFTP client. SFTP.net is the SFTP client, and plenty more you can get. Hundreds of SFTP client softwares are available. What we will use FileZilla. FileZilla is the most common SFTP client used worldwide, industry wide. So we will use it as our own SFTP client. Go and download FileZilla SFTP client on your desktop. Once you download SFTP client on your desktop, you have to install it. Once you install it, you will get an application like this. Here, this is the FileZilla application where you will have host, you will have username, you will have password, and you will have port number to define and connect. So we already have those credentials with us. Host is here. I will copy this host and paste it at the host section. Username is here. I'll copy this username, paste it at username. Port number is here. I will copy port number, paste it at port number, and password you have to remember which you have set. I will copy this password and I will put it here inside the password section and click on quick connect. Once I click on quick connect, what happens is right hand side you see SFTP directory is opened. Export directory, import directory, report directory, triggered automation directory. So suppose if you are receiving any file, from a third party system, you have to ask them to put that file inside your SFTP directory, and you have to provide them these credentials. They would write automation on their own system to automatically fetch the fresh data, put inside a file, and send it to your SFTP. Generally, to receive any data, we will use import folder. If you want to export any data out of Marketing Cloud, we will use export folder. So now we have import folder, and suppose we are going to receive any file from a third party system. Now how they are going to send you file is not your concern, because you are limited to Salesforce Marketing Cloud. They can write a program, they can drop it manually, or whatever method they take to drop a file on the SFTP is none of your concern. So what we have to do, whenever we drop a file inside the import folder, the automation should run and import that file inside our data extension. So automation to detect if file is received or not. If the file is received, it has to import the file to the data extension. Once the data extension import is complete, it has to send the email to that particular set of users